Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is a beautiful day to be creating with you. I am so happy to be back to scrapbooking and here on YouTube. I've taken a several week break. My husband and I had a vacation and before that I was focused on teaching some private workshops in my Creating With You exclusively group that all my customers get to participate in. I'm going to put all the details on the products that I'm using today in the comments, but I am using the Home for Christmas collection, and this is the Scrapbooking Workshop. It's what I always grab to do all my scrapbook layouts, but you can see that this has a real, I'm going to say it, homey vibe for the holidays. So I'm going to be bringing in a couple of those later on. I've done some prep for this video to kind of get us started. All right. I really like these scrapbooking workshops because you get the exclusive papers. So I'm going to be focused on a little bit of the exclusive papers in all three of the projects that I'm going to be sharing with this. All right. So the first thing I have here is you'll see as this lays out here. Let me grab. I did one ahead of time, that what I'm doing here is I am going to cover a piece of white daisy paper to preserve the larger amounts of my pattern papers. And that gives me a lot more longevity with my pattern papers. So that's what I'm doing here. This gorgeous 9-inch piece here is the one of the exclusive papers you get in the Scrapbook Workshop. They have me with the exclusive papers and the pre-cut die cuts. I love them. All right. In addition to that 9-inch, I have 2 strips of the, I'm going to call it the black script paper. These are at 1.5. Okay. We'll just get this all set up. I am now going to tell you a little bit about the layout that I am making up. This is a long time coming for me. This is an idea that I have had for quite some time. You can see I'm just laying those papers up right against each other to fill that sheet up. This is going to be a layout that has been in the making for a while. I used to do a Christmas tree, a themed Christmas tree in every room of my house. And so I have accumulated a lot of ornaments over the year, and some are more precious than others. This will be documenting my family tree ornaments. George and I believe this will be the last year we fully go all out for decorating. And some of our trees are going to be packaged up and will most likely never come out again. So there is that. We're just reaching a different phase in our life and embracing the holidays a little bit differently. All right, you can see here I have my background. It is all covered up, and we're currently working in the group with something old, something new, and I love that. I love this something old, something new because it really lets you re-engage your stash as well as you get to bring in new things that make it super exciting. All right, this is 5 inches across, and I'm going to need this center for what I'm doing. So I just lined it up on my Versamat here, and I'm just marking the 2.5 for that. Just at the 2.5, I have a little tick mark there. It's black, and I flipped it over because I'm going to be using the green side. So I'm going to line this up in my trimmer, and I want to go from the corner to that 2.5 on this side. Okay, and I will keep this tiny little piece because it could do something for me. I'm going to show you in just a second. And then I'm going to go on this other side, and once again, the point and that tip right in the groove of my cutter. This one I'll be a little more careful with, maybe, we'll see. I felt like I went, oh, nope, cut so smoothly. Okay, so now you guys can see where this is already going. I have this one here, just going to serve as my tree on this layout, but look at this. There's another one off of the 2 that you cut away, so you can have this second one if you like. Now, this is script, and I didn't pay attention to what one I was cutting my script because I would not use this side. But if you're planning on using the word side, which is also nice, you can do that as well. But then I have another tree waiting. I just put it together. Okay, so here I also have a piece of the wood grain paper that is so perfect that's included with this. That's going to become part of it. And I have this is one of the die cuts. It brings in that plaid, and you're going to notice that I'm using a lot of colors that are the blacks and the grays. That is done intentionally, and the reason why I'm doing that is I want to make sure that what really stands out are my ornaments. All right, I'm going to put this on and butt this all the way up against the side. Now this is cut at 11.5 by 11.5. Or excuse me, this is cut 11.5 in length. So I want to make sure that when I put this on, I leave 1/4 inch at the top and 1/4 inch at the bottom, and we are not even going to see that when we're done. You can be slightly off if you want to be. There you go. And now I have one of our zip strips from this paper collection. That is 12 inches. See this? This really made me want to bring in little subtle notes of this color palette that's in this collection. So what I did was, this is where I got some of the jade that I'll be adding in later on. And I am backing it on a 12-inch piece of candy apple. There we go. And the candy apple has been cut just slightly wider than your zip strip. I got to switch this off. There we go. So much better. Okay. And this one here has been cut at 5/8, I believe. Yeah, 5/8 wide for the candy apple piece. And I'm going to run that all the way from the top of the side there to the bottom, and that's going to bring in that color palette that you can see, but now you can see the scallops just look like they flow beautifully. Okay, our tree is going to sit right about here. I'm going to put this at the bottom, and we'll be tucking that underneath. So I just want to kind of get that situated before I put it down. I want it to be high. You can use it all the way at the top as a marker, and it should fit. All right, there we go. Yep, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to put it right at the top. It will have a star on the top. Now, this kit came with die cuts. It also came with embellishments. I'm going to line it up at the top, and then the point is right here at the top, and I'm using that side piece of candy apple to kind of situate it, but we want to make sure that the tree is nice and straight. So before I press down or anything, I just want to take a look at it. Make sure that it's coming out nicely. There we go. It's lining up, not quite at the 3 1/4. Okay, there we go. There we go. That looks great. Okay. And we'll just add the tree stump in there. The wood grain paper was so great for that. There we go. Okay, I grabbed a couple of things out of my stash is what I was saying, because I do that all the time and I like to use up my stuff. For this in particular, I grabbed some embellishment pieces, some bling. So here's what I have. I have the pine and the jade are both in this. So I have our green, I have some of my leftover red pack, and then I have these gold stars that are from the Stars and Sparklers. And I kept a bunch of these, the gold ones in particular, and tried to use up my other ones, which really allowed me to maximize that for my Christmas. All right, so now I have both of them in. Let's make sure all of our font is and our writing is good. All right, the stamp set is already retired. It just retired at the end of last month. I mentioned to you guys I would be using it. You can make these with just simple number stamps, or many of us have had these from years past. And what I did was I stamped those. I did all the even numbers in candy apple. I did a little ink around the edge with the jade, and then matted them all on pine out of these little punches that I have had forever. All right, and I didn't worry about making them perfect. And I did all the even numbers like that. And then all my odd numbers are done with stamped in pine, jade inked around the edge, and they're on candy apple. And one of the things I did was I went ahead and prepped these prior to reading my kit. So these are on White Daisy, but this kit is French vanilla. And I said, enough is enough. I gotta let it go. It is what it is. So I went ahead and prepped those just on these little 1 1/4 inch circles, and you can see they're going to fit on there really nicely. Now I have to say, after I started stamping them, one of the things I noticed is I was like, ooh, that would look really good with the toffee brown that's in the kit. I was like, oh, the snowflakes would look nice with the mink. I started looking at different things, you know, the black for this silhouette. But the thing was, is I really wanted to stick with a more simplified design, and I'm not even sure if these are going to be a little too big for me or not. So I wanted to kind of do those as quickly as I could. All right. We're going to make our photo mats. Now, our photo mats, in order to hold 25 pictures, these have to be really small. The white represents basically, there we go. Our white represents where our photo will be, which is a 2 by 2. The jade piece here is 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. And that's going on a 2 1/4 by 2 3/4 piece. And I have been making these Polaroids forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay. And I'm working with a really old sketch that I've had. Here we go. We'll go ahead and put this on. I think I'm going to grab a drink. I have done a lot of talking today. This is being recorded on November 1st, and we just dropped our entire new product line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and put those on there like that. Now, I've created 13 of the red and 12 of the green, and I went ahead and did those off camera just for the purposes of speeding up the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a red one over here. So these are going to be laid out with a, excuse me, using the matte as my color reference. They're going to be laid out green, red, green. Put these down here. Red, green, red. I feel like move that a little bit closer there. Okay, and you can kind of see how this is going to start to come together. All right, we're going to get all these laid out. Then we're going to double check our spacing and make sure we are exactly where we want to be. And then we'll get them down. And look at that, just like that. 25 pictures. Now these are going to be for my ornaments that are kind of special to me. And I still happen to have some 2x2 flip flaps, which are no longer available. So I just want to share with you, in the event that you need more room for writing, you can create your own flip flaps. You will just cut around your page protector if you would like to do that, your memory protector, or you can attach these right to the top. You can do that as well. What I have here is it's a 2, and this is sized perfectly for your picture. So if you wanted to make them a little bigger, you could, but I did it the exact same size as my photo, and it is a 2 across, and then it is 2.5, and it's scored 1/2 of an inch along the longer side. Then I'm going to do this little miter cut just like this, and that miter cut just helps it look a little cleaner. Okay, there you go. And what you would do is simply tuck this behind your photo. So you're going to put this part, adhesive on this part here, and then you will put that down behind the photo because you wouldn't want to see that white thing. And just like that, you've made a little flip flap in the event that you need more room to document some of your ornaments. For me, I'm going to use very little. I would like to put the year that I got it, but I have flip flaps, and for some, I am going to want to put a little more details. Then I have a photo tip for you. For the people who only print 4x6 photos. So this is where you do your bulk ordering. You do 4x6 photo ordering, and everything is a 4x6. Remember, you're going down to a 2x2 when you cut those. So you are not going to want to zoom in super close on the ornament. You're actually going to want to take the ornament from farther back. So when you crop your photo, you know, you're going to be throwing away the majority of your photo. And I know some of you are not comfortable with ordering the photos in different sizes. So that's the only reason why I'm mentioning that. But you're going to want to take it from far enough back that when you crop it, it can come down to the 2x2. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all these put down, and then I will be right back. Welcome back. Okay, so now I've gotten all my photo mats down, and I went ahead and added those stamped number pieces to mark out. You can see here that because we have the odd number, that it actually adds some variety, where we have some that are color on color, and then we have some where the green is on top of the red, so it adds for a really nice touch. What I've done is I've just used my leftover shaker foam tape, which I love, and I've just put one square on each of those, and now I have them all numbered out. And because I have this balance in color, my ornaments are really going to shine. My ornaments are not all red and green or gold. I have a large variety that I want to capture. Now I'll be putting the name of my ornament right here. That's all I need on this page. I plan on doing a coordinating journaling page for this that I'm going to share in another video, where I actually have a matching theme that's going for this, but where I'm going to be able to do a lot more of my writing. I really wanted the ornaments to be like this, and then to share my story on those later on. Okay, so for this one here, let's go ahead and finish this off. I have a little journaling tag that is right here, and I have from the sticker sheet the Home for the Holidays, and I've kind of taken the adhesive off of it so that I can add some foam tape to that as well. Now I have foam tape everywhere, and I have to work on top of it, so to stay on camera. All right, I love foam tape. Okay, there we go. And I want my Home for the Holidays to be on the tree, but I don't want it to, you know, take over the layout, so to speak. So I'm going to kind of let the size tell me where it should be. And I also want to have my #1 photo off to this left as well. I'm thinking right here, it looks really nice with that scallop coming out, and it's shooting off to the left. I like it. We'll go ahead and put that down. I certainly don't want to cover up the trunk or anything like that. All right, and I have my 1, so I can add it to that as well. All right. Maybe I'll put the name of the ornament and the year that I got it, if I know. Thank goodness for the Hallmark ornament boxes for that, though, right? Because they all have the year on them. All right, I'm going to slide that right under there again. I don't want to cover up the S. There it goes. I think that's going to look great. I was thinking about putting this on here just to kind of do a little tag that says something like, you know, ornaments, words like tradition, ornaments, gifts, keepsakes, those kinds of words, just added to that little section there. All right, so I'm going to pull this off for right now. There we go. So we can go ahead and get this down. I don't want to go past the candy apple border that's there. See? And then my #1 is going to be above it instead of on it. So this is now on top of it, and that 1 will be above it. Now this here is from the die cuts that you get in the Scrapbook Workshop, which I love. And I went ahead and I did a lot of black inking on my edges, almost to kind of rough them up a little bit. Like I didn't want them to be, I want this to be more homey and not so polished, if you will. All right, I'm going to put, I still have to put a star on top of my tree, so I think I'm going to hold off on this. And I have a smaller scallop, a circle from the wood grain paper, and I have this sticker that you could use. Let me go ahead and line these up. Here we go. I really do like working with basic shapes. You know, just a lot of the same shapes. I have a sticker from the sticker sheet here. Let me show you where that is, right here. And I've just matted that on a white daisy circle as well. Just lots of layers on this, but I'm going to be adding a gold star to cover up the majority of that star. So, but I wanted to keep with my theme. Just going to center that. All right, great. Whoops. Always dropping something, right? All right. Okay, so now I'm going to just grab that gold star that I showed earlier. Okay. This star is not asymmetrical, so I'm just, not that it matters. I'm going to cover it up, but just in case if it sticks out, there we go. And that is pretty enough, just the way it is. It's super cute, but I do have these gold stars, and I'm very dedicated to doing something old and something new right now in the group, which means I need to use my something old. All right, making sure I get the adhesive dot on that. I'm going to add this. Oh, that's going to look great. Look at that. Just that little tiny pop of gold. I love it. That's a keeper. I had my thing was all ready, but this foam tape does not play. I'm going to take this off and just put a new one on. If that ever happens, I know some people who try to use adhesive on top of them. I just normally rip them off. Okay, let's add this number 1 now. And I'm thinking I don't want it competing with my star because it is a little bit bigger. I am going to put it right where I have all the others, and I'm going to move that up a little bit and say, nope, I like it tucked. Sometimes you got to leave it alone, There we go. All right, and Home for the Holidays works out perfect for this because these are all things that are at home. Okay, down here at the bottom, there's a Merry and Bright. There's a 'Tis the Season, Holly Jolly. I think all of those would look cute added, and I think that those would be really nice if you want to zhuzh yours up a little bit more. I'm really going with some basic scrapbooking right now, and I'm kind of trying to focus on that, so I'm going to just keep what I have. I'm going to grab those leftover red, these are my leftover red dots that I had from the 50 card Christmas workshop. I have a guide that's available on my website, creatingwithyou.com. It's a free downloadable that does 50 cards. You guys might want to check it out. You might like the techniques. All right. So there's lots of hearts that I have left over, and that's actually what I'm looking for, are adding some of these little hearts. Okay, so I'm going to add the big one right here. And I'm using the candy apple, all candy apple. There's a medium. Here's a small right there. And I only had that one big one, so I want to make sure I space these out. There we go. Oh, what I wouldn't give for one more. When you guys see this, you might say, hey, where'd she get that other heart from? It might be because I have little stars too, but I just wanted to do hearts. There we go. Little hearts all over that Home for the Holidays, and loving my Home for the Holidays. Now, I have a couple of ones left over, but if you have a new pack, you have all you want. So how fantastic is that? I'm going to go into my green pack now. All right, and I just want them as an option. To see if I want to add any. I don't know that I'm going to add any. I'm actually looking at it, and I think I like it. I think this is done. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over the details of this layout. I hope you guys really like it. This is, you can use it for, doing 25 of anything. You could turn this into an advent if you want. For me, I've been talking about documenting my precious ornaments for years now, and I just haven't done it. So now I am ready. When I do, I don't have to worry about it later. As soon as I am decorating my Christmas tree, I know I can pull those ornaments, take their picture. I have a little wrought iron stand. I'm going to take their picture on, and if they need to hang, it has a hook on the other side, so it's going to be perfect. At least I think it will be. And then I can document my ornaments and add my journaling, which will have coordinating numbers. I'll share that in another video with you guys, and I can get those precious keepsakes that I see for very little time a year, and this being my final year, might not be seeing them again unless they are at my children's home, maybe. And I'm really happy with the way this layout turned out. I hope you guys like the project. If you found this video useful or that it has any creative inspiration for you, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you leave me a comment, I'll make sure to comment back. Thank you so much. It goes very far here in the YouTube community, so I'm grateful for your support on that area. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day filled with crafty goodness. Bye-bye.